Hi, this is Suzanne Williams with Essential Oils, Health Matters, and Living the Wholesome Life. And we are on week 11, day 5 of our positive, peaceful growth journey. And we are following the Dr. Susan Lawton's positive, peaceful growth calendar that you can buy at Aroma Tools or Oil Life. And I'm sure that right now, especially just coming off of Black Friday, I'm sure that both of those places have amazing sales right now. So hop on. They're super easy to find online. Anyway, our affirmation that we've been doing this week is I am reigniting my creativity. And the affirmation for today is I am eating better to support my flow of ideas. And I really, really love this, especially right now as we just finished up Thanksgiving and we just are going into the Christmas season, New Year's season. There are going to be so many treats that are going to be coming to us from, neighbor gifts and holiday parties and holiday get-togethers. And so you might just sit, take a minute in your meditation or your contemplation today and think about being intentional about what we eat. Maybe you're someone like me who for like most of the year I don't indulge in treats, just because obviously they're not good for you. But on special holidays, I will, like eat a piece of pumpkin pie or something like that. So that was my intention this year. But what's your intention? Maybe you want to say, oh, I'm only going to have one treat a day, or I'm only going to want to have one treat a week. Or maybe you're going to say, you know what, I want to feel my best through the holidays. And so I don't want to be indulging in these treats because I want my mind and my emotions to be able to help me give my best throughout this holiday season. So one thing I did want to mention on sugar, and I want you to do your own research if you want to on this, but they find that sugar increases the level of pain you feel if you've consumed sugar and you have something painful happen to you, you feel that pain more, or you rate that pain more on a pain scale. I guess that makes sense. Anyway, hold on, Caleb, please. Anyway, so you rate that pain more on a pain scale, and so we all know that what happens to us physically also happens to us emotionally. So, I would say that maybe think about not doing so many treats through the holiday season, because if you do, chances are you're going to have a more painful holiday season. And honestly, I could kind of see that going on with myself right now, because usually, most of all of this year, I haven't eaten any sugary treats, but in the last couple of days, I did eat a little slice of some of the pies that we had, just anyway. And I can tell today that things are bugging me more. Things that normally would just roll off my shoulders. Anyway, they are bugging me more right now. So, and I'm just guessing, I didn't make the connection before, but I'm just guessing that maybe consuming the sugary treats that none of us really need, is played into that. So anyway, do your research on that. But from what I've been able to study, the more sugar you eat, the more pain you feel at this. Anyway, you feel more pain. Okay, so just wanted to mention that when it comes to eating good. And the other thing, sometimes it's super easy for me, especially, to say, you know what, I'm not going to eat the sugary treats, but it's a little bit, because it's something that you just don't have to do, right? You just say no to it. But it's a little bit harder for me to say, but I am going to take the time to make the salads and cook the veggies and plan healthy meals so that I'm eating things better. And so that's one of the things I wanted to talk about too, as you're sitting down and you're thinking about how you want to be intentional about eating through these holidays or eating through your life, because I don't know when you're watching this video, but see how you can bring more of the good things into your life. And maybe you want to see when you want to eat when you feel like it's best for you to eat and when you don't want to eat. Like maybe you're there's two philosophies on this, and you need to do your own research on this if you're interested. But some people say if you graze and you eat smaller things throughout the day, that's better for you. Especially people who have a hard time with keeping their blood sugar regulated. Sometimes eating smaller meals throughout the day is actually better for them. So, and then other people say, no, definitely only eat in the 3 meals a day. You don't want to eat before this time or after that time. So just kind of see what does your body seem to really need, and then do some research on if there's any facts that support that. It's always nice to have science behind us, and then see what times you want to eat and plan. Like if you know that your children get, what's it called, hangry. If you know that your children get hangry when they haven't eaten for a while, pack snacks. I know my mom was amazing at packing snacks for me. And when we would go on outings, my mom would pack snacks for my grandchildren too, just to make sure that no one was hungry. She thought that was super important. So let's just take the time today to think about ourselves for a little bit and think about what do we need to best nourish ourselves for our ideas, because our affirmation again for today is I am eating better to support my flow of ideas. Okay, so all this week as we've been going along and talking about reigniting our creativity, we've been putting a diffuser blend in that is 2 drops of patchouli, which is the oil of physicality, and 2 drops of sandalwood, which is the oil of sacred devotion, and 2 drops of clary sage, which is the oil of vision and clarity. So, today we usually do this on Fridays, but because of the holiday, we're doing it on Saturdays. Today, we're going to take the time to talk about in depth what each of those oils do for us physically. And so the first one I want to talk about is patchouli. Now, patchouli, if you think about patchouli, you might think of like the hippie generation in the 60s or stuff like that, because it was definitely a very, very popular oil back then. But it was popular for a reason. One of the reasons for its incredible popularity is because it has this incredible ability to calm our mind and calm our emotions. So if you suffer from anxiety or even depression, patchouli can just like give you like this sense of incredible peace. So that's the first thing that it can do for us physically, although that's pretty much tied into our emotions. Really quick, I wanted to tell you that some of the main properties of patchouli are that it's antiseptic, it's an astringent, it's citronizing. Sorry, it's not. I said that wrong. It's cicatrizing, and I had to look that up, and it means that it helps our bodies heal by scar formation. And so sometimes our bodies do need those that coming together and healing of wounds. Now, patchouli is also a cytoplastic, which means that it stimulates the new generation of cells. So it's gonna help wounds heal very, very nicely. Okay, and patchouli and clary sage too, which are both cicatrizing and cytoplastic. Anyway, both of those we're going to be talking about today, the patchouli and the clary sage, and they're both cicatrizing and cytoplastic. Anyway, which means that they are both going to be great for healing of wounds and actually healing of scars as well. Okay, and patchouli is also a nervine, which means that it's just super relaxing to your nerves. Now, so patchouli is amazing because it can affect our dopamine. Why it's so good for anxiety or even depression. Patchouli can help bring in, okay, so I'm just gonna, okay, so patchouli can help bring balance to that. It's great for healthy skin and hair. You can put that in a little bit of your moisturizer, the patchouli, and to help you with beautiful skin. Obviously, with that skin regeneration, that's going to really help with skin. And it's also really, really good for any skin issues like eczema, dermatitis, flaky scalp, or chapped skin, which some people get because it's so dry in the wintertime, especially if you're in the west here. Probably not so much if you're in the east, but patchouli can really, really help with that. So you can put a little couple drops into your moisturizer, put it on, put it either in your moisturizer for your face or in your lotion for your hand and body. You can also put patchouli with some rosemary or melaleuca in your shampoo. Just put a little dab of shampoo and put a drop of 2 of each of those, and then massage that into your hair, and that should really, really help with flaky scalp. Okay, people love to use patchouli as a deodorant. A little bit of a warning on that. A little bit of patchouli goes a long way because it's a very potent smell. So, definitely, do your experimentation with that and see what you think of using it as a deodorant. It's also an insect repellent, so you could just put a drop of patchouli on a cotton ball, put it in your drawers, put it in your cabinets, put it wherever you don't want the insects. And so patchouli blends super, super nice with spices for motivation. Like if you're feeling lazy or you're feeling like you have so much to do but you don't want to do anything, patchouli and some spices can really, really help. Patchouli also blends well with the fruits. And if you blend it with like the lemon, the bergamot, the lime, it's going to be a very uplifting oil. So if you have depression, that might be something that you want to do. Or it also blends really, really well with flowers, like your ylang-ylang, your neroli, jasmine, rose, if you're in the mood for romance. Now, the other thing they say about patchouli is that it balances the sexual appetite. So if you have a crazy huge sexual appetite, or if you have hardly any sexual appetite as well, it can help bring those things into balance, which is one thing that I love about patchouli. Okay, so some of the top uses of patchouli, you can obviously put it in your moisturizer. Again, that would be super good for wrinkle prevention. It can also be taken 1 to 2 drops in a capsule or applied to the bottom of the feet for shingles. So I really quick wanted to show you on a bottle of doTERRA, and this isn't patchouli, this is peppermint, but I want to just basically show you the supplement facts. On any bottle of doTERRA, if you have this on your bottle, that means that you can take it internally. The supplement facts, just like the supplement facts on your cereal box, are going to tell you that you can take it internally, and also kind of a suggested use on how to use it. And I would never suggest taking any other essential oil internally because you don't know what's in it. We do know what's in doTERRA essential oils because they third-party test every batch, and then on the bottom of each bottle is a number where you can go you can go to the site source to you, click on, enter that number, and then you can see every single test that has been run on your batch of oils and the results of those tests. So so definitely it can help with shingles, 1 to 2 drops in a capsule. It can also help with weight loss. And my guess is that one of the reasons, I don't know why it can help with weight loss, but one of my guess is that it's gonna calm your nerves. I think a lot of people eat because they're sad. They eat because they're frustrated. And in those times, we reach for things that usually aren't the best for us. And so patchouli can help with it that way. It can also help with again, many different skin issues. So abscesses, dermatitis, hemorrhoids, hives, irritability, right? The calming that it can do. Mastitis, weeping wounds, and the parasitic skin infections. So if you have any of those, you might want to do your research on patchouli and think about using that. The next oil that I want to talk about is sandalwood. Oh, just to let you know, I'm using this Advanced Oil Magic book and some of the other information that I found other places, but Advanced Oil Magic book is one of my favorite books. Okay, so we are going on to sandalwood essential oil, which is the oil of sacred devotion, and it just smells so good. Like, it's one of the top oils people love to use in religious ceremonies or even in meditation and yoga because it is so calming to the mind. Its main properties are that it's antidepressant, it's a calmative, it's antispasmodic, it's citronizing as well, which we talked about, and it is a tonic. And so again, because it's so calming to your system, this is really good to use on rashes or skin conditions. For that, you can just put 1 to 2 drops in a carrier oil of coconut or olive oil, kind of whatever you have in your house, and then apply that to the affected areas. Studies are also showing that it's very good for cancer. And for that, do your own research, but what it's showing here is to take 1 to 2 drops in a capsule. And if I had cancer, would this be the only thing I would be doing? No, I'd be doing a whole lot of research. I'd be changing my diet. I would be changing my emotions. And I would be, looking at a lot of different things in my life. But sandalwood is something that can help. Okay, also, if you have low testosterone, you can take it 1 to 2 drops in a capsule, or you could apply it over your pulse points or your lower abdomen. So if you are dealing with some scarring, sandalwood can help. And with that, you just want to put like 2 to 3 drops, again, like maybe a teaspoon of coconut oil, and put that over the affected area. And they're also saying that studies are showing that it can be very good with Alzheimer's disease. So you can put 1 to 2 drops at the base of your skull, or again, you can take 1 to 2 drops in a capsule daily. Besides those top uses for sandalwood, people also like to use it for back pain, for blemishes, for cartilage repair. They use it for laryngitis, for Lou Gehrig's disease, for moles, wouldn't have known that one, for multiple sclerosis. And so again, sandalwood is great for relieving tension and stress. It's great for infections. It's great for, so when we're talking infections, that means it would be great for acne. It would be very clarifying to the skin. It's great for UTIs, for bronchitis, and again, it can help with bone and cartilage regeneration. So that is sandalwood essential oil. And the last oil that I wanted to talk about was Clary sage. And Clary, the main properties of Clary sage is that it's anticonvulsant, it's antiseptic, it's antispasmodic, it's a nerve tonic, and so the one thing I really got to know Clary sage a little bit more this week, and one of the main things that Clary sage is amazing at is that it's a hormone balancer. And I kind of think of Clary sage as kind of like a woman's oil. It can help women in so many parts of their lives. If you have issues around menstruation, whether it's PMS or whether it's cramping, because Clary sage is a hormone balancer, it can help with that. Clary sage can actually help with birth too. It can help the contractions work better but feel less intense. And so Clary sage is one of the oils that they say that you should be you should definitely do your due diligence before you use during pregnancy. In fact, many people say you shouldn't use Clary Sage like the first trimester of your pregnancy. A lot of people only want to use it during pregnancy when they're ready to go into labor, and they kind of want to kick up that action a little bit. But because Clary Sage 2 is a hormone balancer, it has helped with some people with infertility, because it helps to balance those hormones. And sometimes we have infertility problems because our hormones aren't balanced. So when it comes to Clary Sage, I really do think that Caleb, can you just help and be a little bit late today? Can you help and be a little bit late today? Okay, anyway, because Clary Sage is a hormone balancer, when it comes to pregnancy, when it comes to infertility, I'm just going to say for you to do your own research on that and to listen to your body and to do what you feel is best on that area. Okay, again, because it's a hormone balancer, Clary Sage can also help a lot with menopause. Numerous studies on that. Do your own research. Clary Sage. And when the other thing besides our hormone balancing that I always want you to remember with Clary Sage, the other thing I want you to remember with Clary Sage is it clears things up. So it's amazing for our skin to bring a brightness and a clarity to the skin. It's amazing for our hair to clear up the flaky scalp. Clary Sage, because it's so relaxing, can be a very good thing to diffuse or to put on the bottoms of your feet if you're struggling with insomnia. Research has found that it also reduces cholesterol, and studies are finding that it can help in the fight against leukemia. One of the last things I want to mention about Clary Sage is that it can increase circulation. So if in the wintertime, if your hands are getting cold, your feet are getting cold, putting a little bit of Clary Sage on, a couple drops in like a tablespoon of coconut oil, whatever, it can definitely help you with what you need to do. So for hormone balancing, you can put it on your wrist, you can put it behind your ears. For PMS, you can put it on the bottoms of your feet or take 1 to 2 drops in a capsule. For postpartum depression, you can diffuse it or put it over your heart area. Again, it's going to help balance those hormones. For abdominal cramps, you can massage it into your abdomen. Clary Sage is also a remedy that has been used for remedy that has been used to help with the clarity of eyes. So if you have pink eye or something like that, you're definitely never going to put essential oil in your eyes, in your ears, up your nose. Like, we're just not going to do that. That would be bad news. Anyway, but what you can do is you could take a little drop on your finger and just put it above your eyebrow, down the bridge of your nose, and then around the lower upper cheekbones. And then definitely put it on the bottoms of your feet, on your eye reflexology points. For infertility, you can rub it onto your abdomen or on your uterine reflexology points on your feet. Or you can take 1 to 2 drops in a capsule. So just be super careful and do your own due diligence again when you're using it for infertility and pregnancy. And studies are showing that it can help, would be one of the things that helps with breast cancer, and you can dilute it over the breasts, or you can take it in a capsule to help regulate your estrogen levels. Other things that Clary Sage is super good for is convulsions. Again, it's an anticonvulsant. Endometritis, epilepsy, fragile hair, hot flashes, again, that hormone balancing, impotence, helps with lactation, again, a hormone balancer, Parkinson's, premenopause, and seizures. Okay, so I think that's all I wanted to talk to you about with the oils. Again, I want to remind you that this week, we're ending this week, and we're hopefully going on with reigniting our creativity, nourishing the creativity of ourselves and in others. And we are going to be intentional about putting foods in our body that help our mind and our bodies as well. This is Susanna Williams with Essential Oils Health Matters, living the wholesome life, and I know you're going to make it a great weekend. Bye-bye.